Welcome to Optimize 24, the thought leadership event for Aspentech. We have with us Scott Sanderson, who is the Director of Global Business Development for the energy sector at Amazon Web Services. Scott, welcome.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
It's great to have you. Give us a flavor about what your role is at Amazon Web Services.
Yeah, happy to. Business development for us means provoking our customers to think about how they can improve their operations using the technologies of AWS's cloud kit, so to speak, as well as our partner technologies together to drive business outcomes. It's not always obvious to our customers how that can happen, so our job is to kind of articulate that, innovate with them, and create ideas and deliver those to deliver business value.
Right. And what sort of trends are AWS noting in collaboration with Aspentech in terms of the approaching horizon from customers in the energy industry?
Yeah, sure. The energy industry is very capital intensive. There's a lot of equipment. There's a lot of process equipment. There are components, there are systems, and there are networks of equipment. All of that has to be optimized. It always was optimized in certain silos to the extent the technologies allowed it. What we're seeing now is customers really want to get into the massive simulation, continuous planning, stringing together components and systems and networks of assets to create incremental value, to get closer to sort of the design basis of those systems. And the leverage and the gearing that you get in terms of value, whether it's reduced costs, whether it's increased production, improved yields, reduced energy intensity and carbon footprint, are all available when you optimize across these systems.
Both AWS and Aspentech, you're futurists, you're technologists. For those looking outside in, we consider the energy industry to be a very traditional sphere, but they've taken incremental steps to go down digitalization pathway. So, Scott, for us, contrast the then and the now, and what have you witnessed over the years?
In the past, if you had a big process plant, our customers, the plant managers, executives would say, let it run steady state. Give me a 30-day plan and then don't touch anything. And I'll take that 30-day plan, that optimization plan from an Aspentech model, and then don't touch anything. What we're seeing now is there are so many degrees of freedom in feedstock selection, in unit performance, in changing prices and adjusting yields, that you can actually make those physical assets a little bit more agile, right? More agile than we thought they were 20, 30 years ago. And if you do that, just the incremental value that you get from a few percent here and a few percent there across a value chain of hundreds of thousands of barrels every single day, in the case of oil and gas, for example, or increased capacity on a grid to ingest more renewables, adds a tremendous amount of value and flexibility to our customers' operations. That wasn't available without technologies like Aspentech and without the kind of massive computing, simulation, high performance computing that we can bring to the table as well.
Sure. For us folks in the analyst community, we notice yourselves and Aspentech have a very strong partnership as far as the energy sector goes, and more holistically. It then merits the question that in terms of you both working together, what can we expect in the future? Now let's first talk about the near term. What are the next sort of 5 years looking like in terms of your partnership with Aspentech?
So at AWS, we continually innovate. We're always driving better infrastructure, but we are primarily foundational infrastructure. We are data, we are compute, we are artificial intelligence, machine learning, Gen AI. We bring the infrastructure to do that. Aspentech brings the functional software that sits on top of it. So that marriage of that high-tech infrastructure where we're constantly innovating and the models that are specific to the plants and the networks that they're modeling, the physics-based, thermodynamics-based models are a perfect marriage of those two technologies. And we see that continuing to grow in the near future.
We keep hearing the expression, data is the new oil. We keep talking and thinking about big data, and then of course you cannot escape the subject of generative AI. So when it comes to you both Aspentech and AWS, how you collaborate on the Gen AI space and in terms of big data for the energy sector?
Well, you can't do the simulations without data. You can't optimize without the data. Data may be the new oil. It's also the most leverageable asset you have, right? You can't just go out and build a new refinery, but you can improve it. And you can improve it with data, and you can improve it with analytics, and you can improve it with the Gen AI that Aspentech is building into its products. And so that's where I think you get the value. There's more leverage in data per dollar spent investing than there is even in a new plant.
It's been a fascinating conversation, but I think in order to bring it to a close and to sum up some of the points, give us a flavor about how you and Aspentech intend to co-innovate in terms of the long term.
Innovation is a must in this environment. Growing demand for energy with a growing population around the world. The only way to meet that demand is with better systems, physical systems, and better analytical tools to optimize those physical systems. Innovation is clearly in our DNA at Amazon Web Services. We're always innovating on artificial intelligence, machine learning, Gen AI. We've got Kuiper satellites, 3,000 of them will be launched here in the next couple of years to bring connectivity to remote places as well. Aspentech, again, has such a tremendous legacy of physics-based optimization systems. It's actually a perfect pairing of two companies to continue to innovate and drive the performance of energy systems for the billions of people around the world who need it.
Scott, it's been a very interesting conversation. We really appreciate your insight.
My pleasure.
That was Scott Sanderson, Director of Global Business Development, Energy Sector at Amazon Web Services.